All right, let's do some live trading. Let's do this pre-market analysis for you guys as well. So we're currently on MNQ. With what's going on geopolitically around the world, it is going to be a little bit more of a shaky market, but let's see. First things first, let's go to the earnings calendar. It's looking like the majority of everything here is low beta stocks, so I am expecting lower volatility. Also go ahead and run to the FX calendar and see what's going on over there. So we do have 10 a.m. news coming out today. Generally that means we have chop. We will generally chop until this news event. So what I am seeing is I do see this liquidity level all the way from February, Tuesday the 17th. Wouldn't mind if we came to liquidate that whatsoever. We are taking out the previous week low. It looks like today we are taking out the current day low. I do see some 15-minute structure here where we had a sweep and change of character just right here. I want to go ahead and make that a different color as well. Very likely I want to see us basically trap all of these ICT traders that are looking at this POI right here. I know that a lot of ICT traders are probably looking to buy here, but what I'm expecting is maybe a little short reaction down here, liquidating here, and then maybe coming back up to then liquidate these highs that are consolidating right here. And then from here, we can either continue moving up higher or then short off. Let me go ahead and also just send this into the group. All right, looks like market has just opened. I am going to move into the 5-minute chart now. I am surprised there really isn't that much volume entering into this first 5-minute candle. Let's come and take a look at the 1 minute. It does look like we have a very nice wick rejection. Looks like we have a nice wick rejection here, and it looks like the market's also rejecting here. Basically, what that's telling me right away is that there's a lot of indecision within the market if we're wick rejecting both sides of the opening range like that. All right, so currently, I do like the fact that we have some sort of wick rejection at the low of the range right here. There is quite a lot of volume entering in at the moment though. Generally that means we should have some sort of retracement at the first position. So right now price is already wick rejecting these highs right here. I am going to go ahead, start placing my stop loss and take profit and preloading those. My risk is a little high just on one contract here, so I might wait for a little bit of a retracement. All right, I do want to wait for price to retrace just a little bit here, so I might wait for it to come to like this 25% level. If anything, I'm going to take the Fibonacci out, low to high. I want to see it come to that 25% level. The reason why I want to wait for a little bit of retracement is I don't know if you can see here, but the market has literally just moved straight up. Generally, that means we have to come retrace just even a little bit. I'm going to wait for price to, there we go, kind of tap into that level. Now we are in. So for those wondering, is this a high probability position? At the moment, no. It did have a little bit more probability than normal just because of the wick rejection that it had on the lower extremity of the range here. It wasn't a very, very high probability position only because we didn't manipulate the higher low of the day, no candle closure above the higher low of the day. So it's just fairly average to say the least. Market is a little bit slow at the moment. Tap almost perfectly into my 25% level is what I pretty much wanted. I will start protecting this position once we start taking out the high of this candle as well as the high of the day. Go ahead and move our stop at the low of the range here, decrease a few ticks of risk. Market is still moving a little bit slow. We do still have news coming out at 10 a.m. so in about 12 minutes here. It looks like price is now coming to that sell zone. It already had that short little retracement, as you can see right here on that sell zone, and now it looks like price is trying to fully liquidate. All right, because we're pretty much at the high of the day right here, I am going to go ahead and move my stops around 25% of the way. We have already decreased our risk now by 25%. Again, remember, name of the game is always managing risk. We do have this massive 5-minute gap that has developed here, so we might be able to see price come back into this gap for him to do something crazy and then move back higher. All right, market is still shopping like absolute crazy right now. We need that news release to come in and pump some volume for us. That news release could very well spike hard really down and hopefully continue up back higher. It's like the news released and we did not get that crazy amount of volume that I wanted. This is one of the most boring Mondays I think I've ever traded in such a long time. Well, we finally have liquidated the high right here, which I've been waiting for. But that's also a little bit scary at the same time because we are wick rejecting it. All right, well, there's a little bit more of a push. Market is crawling at the speed of a snail. Looks like we have moved already 0.5 of the way. So it looks like price is about to completely fill this gap that we've made right here. It's now basically running into all of that at the moment. Managing my risk a little more, we'll move it about 50% of the way here. There is a nice little push here. That gap is now completely filled. Price is still moving at the speed of a snail. Because time has considerably passed, I am going to start moving my stop loss a little bit more, 75% of the way. It is approaching 10:30 here. I might go ahead, move my stops basically to break even, just right below these lows. All right, I'm moving my stops to break even now. All right, now the main reason for this is honestly very simple. We entered the trade about an hour ago. With breakout trades, we want to run to our TP within the first hour or two. Because price is chopping like crazy here, it's building up a lot of volume. There's no point of keeping our stop loss all the way down here whatsoever. We want to be able to decrease our risk as much as possible. And from everything going on technically, right, from sweeping the high of the day, filling this gap right here, moving to break even really is the smart move to do. We're going to go ahead and trail in a little bit of profit right here. We're going to move our stops just a little bit more into profit. Looks like price is wanting to break away just a little bit here. So it looks like price somewhat moved in our direction here. And we are starting to take out these highs here. Just still not too much volume going on this morning. My patience is running a little bit low given that it's almost 11 o'clock. I'm just going to go ahead and move my targets right down here. I'm also going to go ahead and trail my stops all the way up here. Nonetheless, we are guaranteed profit for the day. All right. Little small win for NQ. Nothing crazy, but I'm happy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and followed through some of my thought processes. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.